that leads us directly into the darkest part of this deep dive, the mental health crisis.
Yeah, and this is where the song just strips away any glamour of the street anthem genre. He's not glorifying this, he's diagnosing it.
He really is.
The lyrics are so blunt. Heart in pieces. He need medicine. That's not a metaphor.
No.
He's identifying a medical need. He need medicine. But then he immediately tells us why that need isn't being met.
He lists the support systems that have failed, or I guess that he is rejected because they just don't work for him.
And the big one is the church. The lyric is, been trying to tell him go to church. He say that preaching shit irrelevant.
That word, irrelevant,
That's
just devastating. He doesn't say the church is wrong. He doesn't say he lost his faith. He says it's irrelevant.
It implies this complete disconnect. Like whatever you're saying from that pulpit has absolutely zero bearing on the reality of my life right now.
Exactly. If an institution can't offer physical protection or, economic relief, then its spiritual comfort means nothing. It's just noise. When you're in survival mode, anything that doesn't directly help you survive is irrelevant.
So if medicine isn't an option and the church is irrelevant, what's left? The text gives us two choices, and they are bleak. He says it's either suicide or reckless shit.
That is such a profound insight into what we usually just dismiss as, antisocial behavior.
Yeah.
We see someone doing something dangerous, and we just judge it as criminality.
She's framing it as a coping mechanism.
It's the alternative to suicide.
Yeah.
Think about it. Suicide is the ultimate flight or freeze. You check out. Reckless shit is the fight. It's a way to feel something, to exert some kind of control. Even if you're risking death, you're the one choosing the risk.
It's almost like if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out loud, not just fade away in the cold. I'm going to burn out.
Precisely. It's a scream for existence in a world that wants to silence you.
Speaking of screaming into the void, there's this one very specific line about modern communication that it caught me off guard.
Oh, I know which one you mean.
The whole track feels so timeless in its grit. And then he drops this. Tried to send a text, but she keep leaving them on Reddit shit.
Chuckles. Yeah, I had to read that one twice. It really stops you in your tracks.
Usually the phrase is left on read, R-E-A-D,
Yeah.
but the transcript is clear. He says Reddit.
Which is such a specific cultural marker.
So how do you read that? Leaving them on Reddit shit, is it just a rhyme or is there something more there?
I think there's more. I mean, what is Reddit? It's a forum. It's a feed. It's a place where you just consume content from strangers. You scroll past it, maybe upvote it, and you move on.
It's impersonal.
Totally impersonal. So he's sending a personal text, maybe a cry for help, maybe just trying to connect. And she's treating it like content.
Like it's just another thread on the internet.
That's my take. Something to be consumed or ignored, but not engaged with. It just highlights that isolation we were talking about. You can't reach your friends, you can't reach the church, and you can't even reach this girl because she's treating your life like it's background noise.
That is just such a lonely image.
And that loneliness, it just fuels the paranoia. Because if there's no one to trust, then everyone is a potential threat.
Which leaves him totally alone. And, usually the story in these songs is, okay, I'm alone, so I'm going to grind, get famous, get rich, and get out.
The started from the bottom narrative. We love that story.
We do, but Jontae, he shuts that down too. He talks about charging into the game, but then he just drops a hammer. This viral shit ain't enough.
Which is a startling admission for an artist who is, presumably trying to go viral.
He sees right through it. He says, they just profiting off his pain.
This is the critique of what some people call the poverty safari. We, the listeners, the consumers, we enjoy the grit. It feels authentic. But for him, he says he'd keep coughing stuff out his brain.
That imagery again. It's like a sickness.
It is. He's expelling trauma. He's coughing it up because it's toxic. But the industry takes that cough, packages it, puts a beat on it, and sells it. He knows his suffering has become a commodity.
There's a deep awareness there. And that leads to this moment of, I guess I'd call it reclamation. He draws a really hard line. He says, just know, when it come to writing the scripture, we not the same.
Scripture. That is such a powerful word choice.
Not lyrics, not bars, scripture.
It connects right back to the irrelevant church. If the preacher's scripture doesn't work for him, he's just going to write his own. He's elevating his lived experience to the level of a holy text.
He's saying this is the truth. This is reality.
And by calling it scripture, he's saying you can't really argue with it. It's a testament. It's also a boundary. We are not the same. He's telling all of us, unless you've lived this, you are not authorized to preach from this book. You can read it, but you can't write it.
But being the author doesn't seem to bring him any peace. If anything, the potential for success just cranks up the paranoia.
Oh, absolutely. The text shifts to what happens after you make it. He says, when you make it, they're going to come after his bread.
And what's the solution? He cut everybody off.
It's the final tragic irony of the whole song. To survive the block, you had to become cold. To escape the block, you had to sell your pain. And once you've escaped, you have to isolate yourself completely to protect what you've built.
Ain't no one to call.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
The isolation he felt at the beginning, alone, shopping for weapons, it's just replicated at the top but with more money. The trench isn't a place in Flint anymore. It's a psychological state that he carries with him.
You can't escape it because it's in your head.
Exactly.
That is incredibly bleak, but it feels honest. He refuses to give us that Hollywood ending where money just fixes everything.
And that's why it's scripture. Scripture isn't always happy. It just bears witness to the truth.
So let's zoom out a bit. We've gone from the freezing streets to this isolated success. If the ending is just more isolation, what's the point? What's the takeaway here?
I think the key is in the line. I'm trying to wake him up.
Who's him?
A friend. Himself. Us, the listener. I think maybe it's all three. He's trying to snap someone out of that freeze state we talked about. He wants movement.
And he asserts his own stability in all this. He says, you can't knock me off my pivot.
Pivot is great terminology. It's from sports, basketball, boxing. It means you have one foot planted. You can move, you can dodge, but you do not lose your base. You don't fall.
So how does he stay on his pivot? This is the part I found almost mystical. He says, I rap into existence. I talk it until it's stuck.
Talk it until it's stuck.
We hear a lot about manifestation these days, vision boards and all that. This feels like the trench version of that.
It is. It's like linguistic brute force. He's saying, I have no control over the weather or the violence or the industry, but I have absolute control over my voice.
It's almost like casting a spell. If I say I'm a survivor and I say it loud enough and long enough,
Eventually, reality has to agree. It sticks.
Yeah.
He is forcing his will onto the world just through words.
so his voice becomes the weapon.
It's the one thing he truly owns. In a world where everything else is trying to kill you or exploit you, your voice is the only property you actually have.
That's a powerful place to land. So we've gone from freezing temperatures and broken friendships to this act of defiance, this idea that you can speak a new reality into existence if you just refuse to be quiet.
It's a desperate hope, but it's still hope. And sometimes, in the winter of 2026, that's all you have.
So here's the thought I want to leave you with. We all have our own version of the Michigan cold.
Yeah.
Maybe your trees aren't literally exploding, but maybe your environment feels hostile. Maybe the institutions feel irrelevant.
And maybe the people around you are acting.
Exactly. So in that situation, when you feel that freeze coming on, do you have a pivot? And more importantly, do you trust your own voice enough to talk it until it sticks? Or do you let the cold win?
That's the question.
Jontae made his choice. He wrote the scripture. The question is, what are you writing? Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Stay warm out there.
And stay critical.